I love that he makes him see his face too. I love a villain that can play on human emotions like this. The first guy who's like, maybe we shouldn't live in the country where there's a constant kaiju attacks. So this is what they were building, huh? Kaiju number 10. Holy shit, okay. The unfortunate truth about Kaiju number 8 is that its ending may very well have the death of Kafka, given he very well might not turn back into a human by the end of the show, and that's concerning. Make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patreon is where you catch those full live reactions. So, we ended the last episode with Kaiju number 9 trying to leave, and Narmi and Kafka saying, "Not today, bitch." And we have about 5 minutes for the finale of this fight after Best Boy gets killed. There's a lot of hopium in the comments last week. No, he's not dead, he's just absorbed. That's me tapping you on your shoulder and saying, enjoy your hopium. It's not up to me to tell you Santa isn't real. He self-destructs himself, because I guess in his world, as long as his head survives, he's out this bitch. And I love the idea of how he ultimately wins this fight. He's like, okay, I've tried to push you guys back. You're an annoyance. I fought enough today. I'm gonna go recharge. I'm gonna keep my feet up. I'm gonna maybe have a couple brewskis. I'm just gonna go chill now. And how am I gonna get out? Well, you guys are human. Confuses the hell out of me, but I'll just target the people that can't protect themselves, and you'll run towards them. Weirdos. Such an evil, perfect way for him to get out of there. You absolutely stomp on us. You destroy one of the most important members of the Kaiju force, period. Literally a war hero. Like, in the eyes of the public, like, morale is going to be at an all-time low until something proves that they're still going to be kept safe. People are already considering leaving the city because without him, who's going to protect them, right? They don't know everything we know about the new hierarchy and everything like that. But the idea that they just did such a low blow. We lose, he escapes, and he's going to be more powerful than ever. Like, Kaiju number 9 seemingly is building the Megazord of Kaijus. He just wants each of them to become stronger and stronger until he's an unstoppable force. Thankfully, before our boy kicked the bucket, apparently he put in some safety precautions. Turns out Kaiju number 10 is being experimented on and turning into most likely some sort of weapon that will be insane. I like the idea that he had like a safety in place. Like, if he dies, go to him, do what he says. And I have to begin to imagine if this was a situation where he died of natural causes someday and kaijus weren't a big threat, I wouldn't be surprised if the answer was stop all research, we don't need this. But given the situation, he's like, you know what, we're gonna commit a few war crimes if we have to, because at the end of the day, we need all the help we can get. The thing that was obviously the most shocking to me, though, was the reveal that Kafka is starting to not change back. So he has this, like, I thought it was a burn. It looked to me like when, like, flesh peels off. I was like, oh shit, you know, maybe there was an attack that Kaiju number 9 did that he just can't repair from. No, it was part of his skin not going back to human. Now, when Kafka's in his Kaiju form, he's still Kafka, right? Like, he functions as he is in his human form. So I'm sure there's going to be some people who say, well, even if, like, he fully transformed into Kaiju number 8 and couldn't transform back, he would still be in control. But I have a feeling like that's not the case. If he gets to the point where he can't go back to his human body, like he's stuck as Kaiju number 8, I have to imagine he will not have the same level of mentality and control that he currently does. And I think it would be smart if the author went the route, and obviously time will tell with the anime, that as he gets more and more infected, basically is how I'm going to put it, where he can't transform back certain parts, he loses a little bit of control along the way. And that could be very fun, because ultimately, Narumi's like, you can't join us. I'm not an idiot. You can't join us. But unfortunately, you're going to join us, because only really he knows the pain of that battlefield. Until Kaiju number 9 is dealt with, we're going to do some dumb shit along the way. And do I think Kafka dies at the end of the series? My gut impression right now is no. But with what they laid out in this episode, If they commit to it, and by committing to it, I mean we see more and more of the rapid acceleration, that every time he transforms a little bit more doesn't transform back, there will be some major death flags for him, and I won't be shocked in the slightest if the story ends with Kafka, if Kafka's funeral is the last thing we see. I won't be shocked in the slightest. Will it happen? Right now I'm going to say no, but this episode definitely makes you want to feel like there's not going to be a happy ending. If anything, we might have a bittersweet ending, but I mean, we'll see. Unironically, though, my favorite part of this episode was actually him visiting the old cleanup crew and just working with them. Like, he comes in there to return some books, and then he starts cutting up monsters. The show started with him, like, doing this job, but he's like, I'm gonna go be a soldier. And I love the idea that he's been a soldier long enough that he's like, actually, that whole job wasn't half bad. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's going back to something that's simple. It's like a part of your day-to-day routine because you did it for so long. You have to imagine cutting apart a dead kaiju probably feels damn relaxing compared to fighting living kaijus, because nothing's gonna kill you in this area. And I like seeing the fact that the things that they were having issues with, he immediately was cutting through like it was easy. It was cutting like butter. And it was funny because they don't know how important he is. So they're like, hey bro, if you came back, like, you'd be the #1 on this team again. Like, why be a bottom of the barrel soldier and do nothing or be the best? And they have no idea. I hope there's at least one scene when it gets revealed to the public, because it's going to happen. It's going to be broadcasted. Kaiju #8, part of the #1 task force, right? I really hope that his old pals look at the TV and they say, oh shit. I did appreciate the one guy saying, like, hey, we should leave. Like, if he died, who's gonna protect us? And the whole show I've been saying this, like, even though kaiju attacks do happen globally, is what's been implied, you have to imagine it's like natural disasters. Some places are more prone to tsunamis and tornadoes and earthquakes. So just because it could happen anywhere to certain degrees doesn't mean there's not going to be safer spots. So yeah, maybe not living in the kaiju capital of the world might be a decent idea. At least one character was speaking facts this episode, but I expect a lot of people will say it's not as exciting as the past couple just because it's not as bombastic. But personally, I think it's just as entertaining and intriguing as the past couple, and honestly, the past like 3 to 4 episodes of this show. Generational run. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think? And how do you think the show's actually going to end now that they're setting up potentially Kafka's death? Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. And Patreon is, of course, where we catch my full live reactions and other exclusives like, hey, I give video shoutouts to my patrons. So today we got Ty Brondhaver, Javier Volquez, Karstine Jensen, Dr. Gold, Marshmallow God, Shadow, Frozen, Ginnis, and we also have Frank Stendel. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.